I think as my undead opponent sees this, that I'm just creeping, feels like you just like, oh, and the clarity going Super Saiyan. This Blademaster has more strength than your Tauren Chieftain. Alright, yeah. Hello everybody and welcome to another Nick Oldhead video. Today, well, we're going to be talking about a lot of different games, right? Some of these games are me doing original strategies, aka me just making something up. But a lot of these games are me trying my best to win because, you know, we've had a bit of a break from Warcraft 3. You know how life gets busy. I don't know if it's raining where it is where you're watching, but for me it's been raining like crazy all week and, you know, all month. It's just been so busy with work. But you know what? There's always the work of Warcraft 3. I feel as if part of my mental state is dependent on whether or not I'm currently good at this game, and it's been like that ever since I've been 15. So we once more go down the path of Orc versus Undead, right? This is a matchup that I've always disliked, simply because I feel as if Orc is very reliant on their heroes, Undead's always trying to kill your heroes. I feel like at many points of the game you have to be really wary for your heroes' lives, and I'm sometimes going back and forth between, do I like Farseer or do I like Blademaster? Sometimes you see my opponents going, I'm Death Knight here. Sometimes I really like to go Farseer as kind of an antidote against all the Crypt Lord all-ins. It really feels bad to lose against a Crypt Lord all-in, so it sometimes puts the onus on me to go Farseer. But let's see what I'm doing this game. Looks like we're going for some creeping. I like the pull there. Unfortunate my wolf gets netted, but let's see how that fares for the DPS on this item creep. I'm trying to get the level 3 Flesh Eater, support with the Grunt. Now my opponent seems to be going Fiends into a really late Death Knight. So this is like, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty old school build. But there you have it, right? 2 Fiends and a Death Knight and you're on the go. Now you are slower. Normally, Death Knight would be creeping with ghouls, and you're definitely keeping pace with the Farseer. But let's see how this goes. I decide to just, I guess I'm just being greedy with the items. Sometimes you can nab a quick consumable and it can make up for the sense that your Voodoo Lounge is late. So I guess that's what's happening here. I get level 2, and if I'm me right now, I'm casting a Chain Lightning immediately on like the skeleton. I'm just getting kills, right? So let's see. I'm doing DPS. I gotta be careful for this wolf though. At any point he could turn and get all of those Crypt Fiend shots on the wolf, probably kill it. But he's going for this Grunt. Now I see that my opponent now has no more mana for the coil, so that's now when the Chain Lightning comes out. I think I really should have used Chain Lightning earlier, I think, because these 2 Fiends would have possibly been dead by now, but I am getting lots of nice chops. Do I get the deny? I try it, and unfortunately I missed that deny, but the Chain Lightning number 2 comes out, and that's 2 Crypt Fiends for a Grunt. So, you know, we already like that trade, but at this point the damage has been done. I can't probably confirm any more kills here. It's just a matter of trading, and this is not what you want to be doing necessarily. It's nice because I have the replenishment potion, but look how much the Death Knight just regens. As I watch my Orc versus Undead replays, I find myself losing when I'm doing damage to things that I can't confirm the kill for, and oftentimes that's the Death Knight. So I feel like, you know, don't forget the Death Knight is a strength hero. Its biggest advantage is it has all this HP and all this HP regen. So sometimes when you're attacking the Death Knight and there's no real kill potential, that's exactly what the Undead wants, you know. So instead, I like to focus on the skeletons, focus on the low HP units that still do damage and give the Undead all this ability to surround and all this. Now, you know, this is actually kind of taxing on the Undead. You really can't be creeping like you would, say, Paladin Rifle. Now, by the way, this is a interesting move by me desperately trying to creep. I decide to just kill what I think I kill the priest there. So don't have enough firepower and definitely aren't going to melee through the frost armors or just kill half of a camp. I gotta admit, I don't often do that, but did I even buy something from the marketplace? Nope, just a decision to creep, and then I suppose I pulled it out. Hey, there's my cat saying meow to me. I know, cat. You really are upset that the Death Knight beat your Farseer to level 3, even though it came out later. I know. I'm upset too. It's because this creep didn't go as well as I thought. So let's see where we are in the game right now. My opponent just getting Burrow. So it's a dedicated Crypt Fiend player, and I let my Farseer really get chunked there. As you see, I'm trying to creep and then harass, but I go for a Cloak of Shadows, buying the dust. That's not bad. But I see my opponent has Sentry Ward, so I'm literally waiting until they drop the Sentry Ward, and I just have to immediately TP, right? So they drop the Sentry Ward, and I immediately TP, yeah. But that, that was kind of whatever. Waste your time as I creep to level 2, so... Level 2 versus level 3, and it's a fresh level 3. He's pretty far off on the way there. So now my opponent is creeping, and not much of a front line. Oh, yeah, you're so lonely. Oh, my poor cat. Hey, come here, cat. Come here. Yeah, you want to come and come here? Oh my god, you're so lonely. Yeah, let's watch the undead creep. Come here. Come on. Come up. Oh, you scaredy cat. Alright, that cat's going to meow at me for a little bit. Why don't I get through this game? Then I'm going to pet my cat. I'll pause the video. Check out my watchtower there. I like it. Just a little passive, aggressive, I'm scared of losing the game watchtower. Oh my god, my cat. Yes, hi, come here. You are so welcome. Come up here. Jump up here. There you go. Oh, yeah. Alright, guys. You get to see a little cat. I'm not going to force the cat on the camera. Now let's get back to what we were doing. Oh, look, we finished this troll. Finally get our revenge. Farseer, level 3, as one should. Oh, there you go. The cat wanted to say hi. Great. Glad that Mike got some of that cat love. So I'm getting creep jacked, but what? You have low HP. And immediately uses the greater invuln. So we're okay with the TC taking damage because we got the greater healing. So we're feeling great, right? I think we both just used our consumables. We were creeping. But at this point, I think my army's just a little stronger. It's a really interesting build I'm going here. Just straight up double barracks into triple hero, right? Like, at this point, I suppose I'm just trying to rush. What, a tiny Great Hall? What do you think, cat? What do you think? I do like the healing wards. Gives me a lot of safety on the map here. Normally, I'm pretty afraid of losing units to undead. Oh, but this is bad. Oh, no. I lose a grunt for free. But I'm feeling confident, you see. And now my cat gets out. Just wants to get my attention. Now I'm feeling good, though, because this list has got to be dead, right? Yeah, we... Hex. Where's the stomp? There you go. Okay, so we just eventually out DPS my undead opponent. Headhunters versus Crypt Fiends. I mean, actually decent matchup when you have a level 3 Tauren Chieftain. Because then you get the Endurance Aura. And yeah, okay, so this game looks pretty over. I'd say ghouls really seem to be the thing that make you afraid as an orc player. Not necessarily Crypt Fiends. I now just get to go creeping, and I think as my undead opponent sees this, that I'm just creeping. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, was that the last straw? Missing the coil steel? Yeah. And there you have it. So, alright guys, I think everyone is in agreement right now. The correct thing to do is pause the recording and go spend some time with my cat. So, be right back, everyone. Okay, where were we? All right, so we are back, and now we're in my favorite matchup, right? Love me a little orc mirror. Just good old orcs, good old peons, grunts. I feel like it's an honest matchup. Interesting build here by my opponent. Look at this, hugging the trees, and you get this little avenue in your base. I mean, not bad. I don't hate it. Interesting choice there. I recently have been paying a little bit more attention to orc base builds because I've been watching some grubby. I'm sure you guys have as well. Getting hyped for that BlizzCon 2026. whatever they're going to do is going to be awesome. But, you know, seeing Grubby grind some games out, immaculate base layout in which you're able to do some really cool things with, you know, a peon blocking there, a grunt blocking there. You see I have this open base build. So let's see how that, if it bites me. Let's see my opponent's build. Got a little slower Blademaster than mine. But in return, you have a faster grunt. So isn't that funny, the way the builds line up? My opponent gets the grunt and the Blademaster at the same time. Just two little tag team friendos. See, but me, I get my Blademaster out first. And I get the circlet first. So, you know, any Blademaster aficionado. Here, I'll get my screen. Look at that. It's so there we go. See, I got my circlet first, and my opponent's checking, and they're like, "What? No circlet." You see that? Where is that? There we go. No, wait, come on. You know, some days, guys, you're ready for the video, and then some days you're not. Okay. We did it. So, where was I? We might as well just restart. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Remember, grind, Blademaster, come out. Same time. I'm a little faster. I'm able to get the circlets. Okay, so now my opponent doesn't see me there. Not seeing. Oh, you could have saw me there, but you were too busy doing this. You sold the TP. I already sold my TP. So I get the scout. You see my grunt. I see that this is happening. Now, interesting. I could, like, immediately go. Is that what I tried to do? So I get the ring. I could have immediately went. I tried to get the last hit. Don't get it, but it's okay. I'm getting chunks on your blade. We both kind of agree. This is what's happening. This is interesting. Do you get dust? I wonder if my opponent gets dust. No, sells the cloak immediately. I think by the pause there, seem to want to buy circlet. Who knows? So we have an orc versus orc mirror. My opponent doesn't have the voodoo lounge yet, which is just... I mean, I think that is an orc versus orc danger. I really do think the late voodoo lounge is not something you want to do. Now, I do like what my opponent's doing there. Great snipe on the tome +2. I have to remember that. Do some tome farming of my own. I just get a double ring of superiority. Not bad, but my opponent just now building the voodoo lounge. And, you know, I have so many videos on this channel that show how in an orc versus orc, when this is what you see, when you're the orc player and you see that they have just built up the voodoo lounge and you're already on their side of the base, this is just such a good thing for you, right? You see that low HP hero, well, try to get the kill, but it doesn't matter. I'm already going to secure the kill by killing the voodoo lounge, because now that Blademaster is just low health forever, you might as well, in my opinion, sacrifice your blade to creeps and just re-buy them, because you're just, I mean, you're stuck in your base for so long, and you might as well just rebuild your hero. And yeah, this is actually really good by my opponent for building there. I kept the grunt out here to stop him from building the voodoo lounge, and look at that. That's just really mean by me. Forcing some action there, and eventually, yeah, he acts, right? So just forcing a little bit of action. Now I'm eventually... Where was my Blademaster going, by the way? Am I going to get... That's a good question. Maybe I was chasing down something. Maybe I was... I think I'm just trying to leave and continue creeping. I see. So this is what I'm trying to do. There's nothing really here. And I suppose I was busy macroing. We got a grunt. I would prefer a upgrade here, personally. Because you see the flow of the game. You see that my opponent is just kind of stuck in their base and I'm creeping. So might as well get stronger. Oh, look at that. I love that. By the second circlet, +6. I'm kind of greedy for stats when I play Blademaster. So my opponent gets a much faster tier 2, which is, this seems to be a common thing of mine. I watch my replays often, as you all know, and I sincerely almost always get to tier 2 later than my orc opponent. But yet, orc versus orc is a pretty high percentage win matchup for me. So yeah, I'm trying to get those two. Do I just sell the ceiling self? Yeah. Sell the last self. Funny, because I guess I just wanted the sentry wards. Oh no, this grunt's gonna break the salve immediately. Bad luck, but let's just kill the Shadow Hunter, right? Yeah, because my Blademaster does more damage than you'd think. So I just like how absolutely stacked my Blademaster is compared to my opponent's Blademaster. It's definitely a common trend I see in my Orc versus Orc. I put out my sentry ward here just in case, and this is nice. Just get the kill, right? Chop, chop. You can do it? Yeah. Okay, so chop. So in my brain, now that I killed the Shadow Hunter, it's time to kill your grunts, right? Like, imagine while this is happening, I know my Shadow Hunter is coming out, so it's kind of like nice that I get the kill before. This is just bad because my opponent thinks they're gonna like get the last hit there, but I can just hex it. In theory, you could have got the last hit there too, but now nice level 3 Blademaster, and you sold your TP. You don't have mana for Windwalk. Yeah, you guessed it. We're gonna keep on chasing, and we're trying to get that kill. So things a little spiraled out of control for my opponent. I think the decision to attack there was just suspect. And now, how does one end the game at this point? Because you can't really end the game. They have burrows, they have units. Sure, you killed their 2 heroes, but unless they leave the game, they're not gonna just give you it. So I just decide to full send it here. This is when you just have to full send it. You know, they have 2 heroes you have and 0 heroes they have. So even if my units lose, it's not like I'm giving my opponent experience, which is normally the worst thing about losing a unit. So you can tell there's no need to micro really. And once I kill the units there, at this point, one could say that I could just stick around and continue killing peons, but I'm thinking that's the few ways I lose the game is by maybe having a low HP Shadow Hunter because the burrows were a focus firing, then his blade comes out, then ensnare finishes, you know. So just leave. I got the units and I can go back to creeping. So we fast forward a bit. Tome of Intelligence. Do I pick up the Tome on the Shadow Hunter? Good. A little bit of hero optimization there. I don't want to give your Blademaster 2 intellect. Give your Shadow Hunter. So we're just creeping along. We got a heal on, so I guess we're just tanking with the Blademaster and the Grunt. It's always cool to see how much you can creep. Oh my god, no, don't die. Yeah. By the way, chaos damage units, by the way, the scary thing about chaos damage units is they always go for the lowest HP no matter what. So this is actually super scary. Come on. Imagine if I lose the... Woo! No, do I lose 2 grunts? Guys, okay, this is hilarious. I'm getting soloed by this creep camp, but we're staying strong, and we finally get the heal on cooldown, and okay, we can kill. So, and oh, the timing. Now, this is why we love Orc versus Orc, because my opponent, I think, is doing the right thing. Why not attack my base with raiders? But what you don't do is go for this. I think you just go for the Torrent Totem, right? Because I don't even have upgraded armor, so the siege isn't doing much, and even if you kill a burrow, I think you should have went for the Torrent Totems, but this is one way to die, right? Like, that's so crazy. I can't believe that I lost all those grunts, and if I didn't get the greater invuln there, I mean, I'm just talking about begging to throw. But thankfully, our fast insistence on Torrens is probably going to net us a big advantage versus these raiders, right? Yeah, Torrens definitely the new hotness in Orc versus Orc. Once you get them, like the game is just so different for my opponent now. Like, what can you do? You should probably go wind riders right now, wyverns, because I'm just going Torrens. I mean bats, yeah, I like it, but not for the liquid fire though. Like, you maybe still trying to go for lame. Just see how this game ends. Decide to tower. I love the decision to go bats. Just trying to go for my base. I mean, smart. You can't beat my meager force. Is it adept? Yeah, adept. Why is my Shadow Hunter running back? Oh, I'm just... Get a TP. Get a staff of teleportation.
Our town is under attack.
I think I should have been a TP. Maybe it was a mistake. I just didn't build a bunch of watchtowers. Okay.
We're under attack.
Full send. Build a bunch of watchtowers. I'm a little panicking right now, right? Can't you see it? Can you smell the panic behind my keyboard? Like, I hope I get this cancel. Okay, I get the cancel. Good. I just canceled that, and then I decide to attack move. I suppose I'm feeling good about this game because I'm leaving the Torns here. They're just attacking your burrows. I kind of know I'm unbeatable in a fight, I think. Yeah, I guess looking back on this game, this is one of those games where I'm really trying to not throw. And I think I do that by just kind of ensuring I show up at the fight. I do like the decision for these two Torns to stay there. I think I maybe did some damage to my opponent. I like this random watchtower is still there. Not really. My opponent still has food. Two Torns. Legionnaires. Just interesting playstyle. But at this point, I mean, the game is just... I got Torns. I got a lot of Torns everywhere. Heal? Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Okay. So once this Voodoo Lounge gets up, I mean, that's it. I should be just getting master training, right? My macro, I would have preferred an attack upgrade, but my opponent has none, so... Yeah, this game looks pretty over, and I have a feeling it's going to end soon. Yep. Good GG's, Legionario. Makes sense. I like how it just ended there. He's just like, no even... Man, I was on a losing streak. I really was. And it was because I kept like trying new fun strategies, and then you lose, and then you're like, okay, I'll play serious the next game. And then the next game, because you're playing serious, you play too rigid, and you can't, you know, reliably have fun or be flexible. So let's see what I do this game. It's actually kind of interesting because I really have forgot what I did in these games. So watching them is informative for me. Sometimes I make these videos soon after I play the games. This is one of those times where just, you know, it was as I mentioned earlier, it's a very, very busy month. And I finally, though, have gotten some time to play Warcraft 3, and I was really loving the games. So let's go over these old ones before I can get to the fresh ones, right? So I like my Blademaster circlet buying. I always love going a strong, how do you put it, a strong Blademaster. Makes me feel good, especially in Orc versus Orc. There's a sense of inevitability. Like, even if you survive against what could be a Farseer Headhunter all in, when you have the Blademaster who focused on items, you just kind of ensure the late game. So I like my two burrows here. I think really makes this ineffective. Oh no, unfortunately I lose a peon there. So I was going to say makes this ineffective for my opponent. As you see, my Blademaster is just farming, which I don't mind at all. Oh, did I get the last hill? Did I get the last kill for the peon? Look at that. All of them are trying to kill it. I hope I got the last kill, but last hit, I mean. So let's correct my base. My opponent here got one peon. Thankfully, the grunt is here. So my tech was delayed significantly. My opponent has delayed my tech, but thankfully, my Blademaster is getting a little stronger as a result. Yeah, where's my grunt? Yeah, good. The grunt is chasing these guys, and the tech is going strong. And now this could give my Blademaster experience. Let's see. Don't think so. Yeah, he resummons. My opponent is, you know, kind of spending their time, not really utilizing the Farseer there. Did you notice that? The Farseer was just sitting. So, my opponent is definitely lethal at this point. Uh-oh, you get a bunch of Headhunters. You've scouted me. You got a little bit of damage. I have a slower tech than you maybe. No, I have a faster tech than you maybe. And now let's creep. So my opponent is now creeping. And I gotta say, creeping with a bunch of Headhunters is efficient. Like, now you're hyperdrive your creep speed, and my grunt and Blademaster cannot keep up at this speed. So at this point, my opponent's now like warp drive creeping, and I'm on that slow creeping. But oh man, don't you love to see this? Maximum healing, yeah. Always love when this happens. You get to have the healing salve plus the rejuvenation. Feels like you just like, oh, and the clarity going Super Saiyan. So I get the clarity so I can buy an item here. Buy gauntlets. Okay, I really love this now. I'm straight up playing Dota with what is a null talisman, right? I'm just straight getting stat items. So if this was a slippers, I would have bought that. If it was gloves, I would have bought that. But it was gauntlets, and I still bought it. And this is just kind of my philosophy on orc versus orc. I'm really just trying to make, at the end of the game, my hero stronger than yours. And if that means buying a bunch of stat items, you know, so be it. If I put that money into grunts, I mean, in a way, they're just going to get killed. And I know that it's a creeping game right now, and I definitely in my head know that if my opponent tries some all-in, like my Blademaster can just really take care of the headhunters. So let's see how this works out. I have like the most invested in early game Blademaster. You know, bought the circlet, bought the items, now going War Mill. Tier 2 is about to finish. Oh, I love this illusion usage though. Wasting my opponent's time. I was scouting with these illusions. I see my opponent is here, and now that illusion stays there. Would have loved if this illusion walked back, but speed scroll to not lose a grunt. And yeah, I think just send the Blademaster in, right? Yes, just send the Blademaster in, because the Blademaster is pretty tanky. I don't mind that. A little bit of misguided unit tree there. Maybe send the Blademaster back in. Yeah. Okay, so really late Voodoo Lounge by my opponent. Nice micro here. I definitely see this and realize I can't do too much more of that ring around the Rosie. Invest in the Windwalk, but my opponent don't think you should have used invuln prematurely there. Like, it was good micro, but you just caused me to, like, not be as flat-footed as I should. I think you really should have waited there. At this point, the grunts are just getting microed by me pretty well here, right? We really don't want to lose a grunt. We lose one. But at this point, we are taking out a lot of headhunters. I think we see that. Yeah, and we love to see this. We know that we're not in kill range because we don't see a chain lightning. And yeah, this is what we want. We want this to be going equal hero level because, you know, one of us has a Blademaster. We're seeing our mana here. Once we have 75 for Windwalk, we just try to break it and get the kill and Windwalk away. So great, love to see it. Nice micro here. Don't have a TP, so I can't send it and kill those two. If I had the TP, we'd definitely sacrifice and probably just chop, but you don't do it. So let's see, the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength paid off in a weird way. But then again, that's kind of results-oriented thinking, right? If it wasn't the gauntlets, it could have just been some other hero, I mean, another unit. But I digress. We knew that we were going to buy a bunch of items, so it kind of behooves us to play this way. We get, what item is this? Now the Shadow Hunter's here. Ooh, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength ×2. I like that. And give the mantle to the Shadow Hunter would be really nice. Now, double gauntlets in my orc brain. I'm enjoying the fact that my Blademaster has extra HP regen. Always keep that in mind. Well, at least I do for some reason. I like keep track of my opponent's strength heroes, because if they have a lot of strength, they can sometimes creep up on you how much effective HP regen you get, and then trade scenarios become harder to like calculate because you're like, what? You're gaining more HP. It's also kind of fun, in my opinion, to try to sometimes max out the stats. Like, I love when I get a bunch of agility on my Shadow Hunter. Always one of my favorite things. Oh, look, the Ring of Regen. Look, I'm talking about my love of regen on the Blademaster, and now we get one of my favorite items in the game. I definitely love getting a Ring of Regen. Let's see. My opponent going with the Headhunters into... So this is... Let's just pause here, because I want to talk macro for a second. I don't think you can sustain 2 Tauren Totems and 2 Barracks on one base. Though I do like the idea because, like, you don't always need to be building units from these all the time, right? Like, the Tauren Totems in particular have a lot of researching you have to do. But I much prefer the 1 Barracks into 2 Tauren Totems, like, just saying. But then again, I am a grunt player in the mirror. I prefer to go grunts rather headhunters. So I decide to, let's see, let's just go to my vision because I need to get better at scouting with my Blademaster. It's only level 1 Windwalk because I'm a definite relier on level 2 crit and let Orc RNG, take the wheel. Love me some level 2 crit. Look at that, 138 damage. What's not to love? And my... Unfortunate that my grunts are taking any damage here. Look how much effective HP. No, don't lose. Oh, this is so bad. So, unfortunately, I lose a grunt. All things I need to improve on. But then again, we're kind of okay with trading grunt food for Torrens, if we're being super real right now. And I am just absolutely in love with the itemization of my Blademaster this game. Just super tanky. And my opponent, on the other hand, these items are not going to cut it, aka nothing. So this game actually is a pretty good, look at that. I think that was on purpose to feed the grunt there. Who knows? I'm definitely trying to transition to Torrens though, right? Because at this point, grunts are just inferior. Never build a grunt when you can make a Torrent, right? I literally can't think of a reason why you'd want to build a grunt over a Torrent. I suppose if you, like, were trying to pillage a base, maybe you could send some grunts into a human base that was small enough for a grunt to fit in, but not big enough for a Torrent. There you go, edge case. So do I get the Orb of Lighting? So here it is. Orb of Lighting. Had to sacrifice one of the gauntlets, give that to the... No, I just sold it. I probably, in hindsight, would have wanted to just give it to the Shadowhunter. But we have a nice Blademaster here, and this is when Orc versus Orc, like, goes in my favor. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to search for my opponent here. I'm just trying to creep more. My opponent, on the other hand, though, this is also potentially scary for me. Like, Tri-Hero can be effective, especially when, like, the positioning is bad for me. Like, because my opponent has all these headhunters, it's essentially like my Blademaster DPS versus their headhunter DPS. That's going to be the big key difference of these fights. And wow, we look at the length of this game. We actually have quite a lot to go. Ooh, Toma Strength +2. Is this not the beefiest Blademaster you've ever seen? This Blademaster has more strength than your Tauren Chieftain. Alright, yeah. Read him and weep. So my opponent here is hopefully not... Is that a Tiny Great Hall? Nope, just a normal Expo. And I bring the peons with me because we got Spirit Walk. And also, when you're against a Farseer, bringing peons is great. You see I have the Shredder here, so I'm not too keen on worrying about lumber. So the peons just give me more melee units. I actually can't stress enough how important it is sometimes to bring like 5 peons with certain orc armies. Like, you know, just the ability to surround things, the ability to have spirit link targets, the ability to, if things are going well, build a voodoo lounge, build a watchtower. Like, it's nice. The Spirit Walker here, let's get back to my vision. So I see this happening and I say, okay, Creepjack. This is a on-purpose little flank, which I like, and my opponent rightfully just runs away because you got Torrens coming at all sides. You got a range-based army, and oh, I didn't even realize that I got the Khadgar's pipe. So I crept the big one here, and I'm trying to get a sick marketplace item. How fun! Now you know it's fun when you're able to shop for your Blademaster. I get the Talisman of Evasion. So in my mind, looking back on this game, I already know that I'm having so much fun trying to build the tankiest Blademaster, right? Like, I should just respec into Mirror Image for... This is going to be a great fight. Let's see how this goes. Torrens, peons. I'm feeling good that my Blademaster... Yep, so I do go level 1 Mirror Image. So let's just take a look at what's happening this fight. Blademaster... No, let's go to slow it down. So the Blademaster's chopping away. Nice micro by my opponent here. The Tauren Chieftain in this Tauren is taking up a lot of damage. Now, so is that Stomp. The Stomp looks effective. It gets a lot of peons. The Chain Lightning, you know, tanks a lot for my peons. So in a way, you know, that Chain Lightning could have been hitting the Spirit Walker, but in the meantime, my Blademaster, you can see, I think is getting told. Yeah, I'm just telling my Blade to just attack the Headhunters, which is fine. But this is not really going my way. If you see these two Taurens, they're not really doing much damage to the Headhunters. Like, the Spirit Wolves and 2 heroes have been effective. I do get 1 kill there. And the Blademaster is looking so healthy. But, uh-oh. Shadowhunter out of mana. And my opponent has Master Training. I do as well. But, oh, look, my opponent kills my Master Training a walker before I was able to get one off. So at this point, yikes, I've definitely lost this fight. And I'm not feeling good at all. My opponent definitely has the advantage. Was that even a... I wonder if that was my opponent getting Farsight. Looked like it. Is it Farsight? Let's keep an eye if that's Farsight or a crystal ball. So my opponent at this point has the advantage. Let's see how quick they act on it. Let's go to my opponent's situation here. They're scouting. They have 63 food. 63 versus 33. All right, guys. 63 versus 43 food. We try to be cheeky and get the kill, and we get it. And let's be real. If my opponent was faster on the Hex, I'm dead there. But don't you sometimes get the feeling of you can tell your opponent's reaction speed, so you can kind of get away with things like that? That was one of those moments. I kind of knew that I could get away with my opponent not getting the Hex there. I just felt it in my bones. Nice, get the kill, but my expansion's scouted, so I am so behind on food, and it looks like it was the crystal ball, not Farsight. I'm so angry that my Blademaster is attacking the barracks now. No, let's see what happens. It would be nice if I pass on the ring of regen to the Shadow Hunter, and I think these rings of protection. I just have a little bit of too many items. I'm thinking the double rings need to get sent to the blade because mirror images get effective HP from armor as well. But let's see how my food situation is going. I still have no upkeep, and I am somewhat mining from the expansion, so I'm getting more gold than my opponent who's in low upkeep. And my opponent's not doing much with a big army. That's the thing. You got a big army, and you decide to expand with the tiny Great Hall. I do like that, just expand, but at the same time, I feel as if... let's see, how do I get out of this situation? My opponent's Taurens are not as tough as mine with the armor, but... really relying on Spirit Wolves. Isn't it funny how my opponent just doesn't want to go in there? Now, sees blood now in the water, and let's go. Okay, so at this point, I must know my only chance is killing the heroes, right? And I say only chance, like, it's a desperation act. It is, but it's also what the Blademaster should be doing, like, right? Like, am I trying to attack anything else but that no invuln Shadow Hunter? Yeah, and you got no invuln on this either. So that hero was slain, and so was all of my, but this time I at least get the res. So the res helps me this time. By the way, my opponent has the right idea. My opponent's micro was superior in the Spirit Walker situation, and that would cause me to lose both of the fights in terms of units. But thankfully, hey, Blademaster prevails. And now that the Blademaster is like the subject of damage, we can see that beautiful HP regen. Look at it. It's so nice. It's so fun. Yeah. That level 5 Blademaster. If I know me, I'm getting level 3 crit every day. At this point, just turn. Yep, just turn. Because you're Tri-Hero. I think my Blademaster can solo this. Just kill the units. My Darazi. Oh, no, no, no. Torn Chieftain. Oh, Torn Chieftain lives. Nice. So Blademaster is just getting all sorts of damage. And, oh, wow. Just barely saves. And the Master Walkers is getting a lot of value. But my opponent is now mining from my base. 59 out of 59. See, but that food gap is closing. Glad I didn't lose these units. Getting 2 more Torns, and this full HP Blademaster is just really helping me out here tremendously, right? Can I just kill these 2? No, I'm just still chasing. Yeah, love it. With every second, my regen is just colossal. Feels nice to ring a regen. Very useful in these sort of situations. I see my opponent has an Expo, and that's just Blademaster food. There's a certain point when you have a high enough HP Blademaster where you just need to treat him as its own, like, one-man army, right? Like, I have my army with the Shadow Hunter and the TC, which gets really... This is, I think, this is really bad by my opponent. I was able to get these free kills here because you're really trying to kill that, but that's bad. And check out this stomp. Oh, I remember this game now. Look at this stomp. Boom! That felt good. Yeah, had to get the 2 stomps there. So my Blademaster is just with a vengeance. Purge orbing the wolves. Shadow Hunter has the healing potion, so we should be fine here. And at this point, yeah, even though you killed my expansion, good on ya, we're tier 3 orc. We can just tiny Great Hall. And I mean, that's what I should do, or what I could do. But a really nice macro game, because I still haven't broke upkeep. I think that what allows me to get ahead, playing pretty efficiently with my hero. Uh-oh, you decide to focus the Blademaster, get out of there. But I'm feeling aggressive. I see, like, yeah, like, I have the Blademaster, and this Khadgar's Pipe is so helpful, right? It's allowing me to get in these healing waves when I need them. Like, watch, if I didn't have Khadgar's Pipe, there's no way I get the healing wave, have enough mana. But I just get one. Come on, healing wave. Okay, well, it looks like, let's go back to my, ooh, get the Hex, get the Chain Lightning. Tries to go for the rebuy. It feels like my opponent has an advantage but it's Blade, and it's what I said in the very beginning of this game, right? If I had Farseer this game, I mean, I feel as if my opponent maybe wins by now. Then again, the game would be completely different. We can't tell. Oh yeah, look at that. How long was this Tauren there? Let's be real. I think we all forgot the Tauren was there, including my opponent. That Tauren would have been mighty useful. So the tiny Great Hall comes up, and that just changes things for my opponent, because now you're like, oh, well, I got to do something about it, right? Yeah, my opponent thinks that, but I don't think you really do have to do something about it. I think that you, as the Farseer, Shadowhunter, Tauren Chieftain player, need a bigger army. And this is very unlucky by my opponent. By the way, the Purge Orb possibly saves you, right? Because you don't get stomped because the Purge Orb and Hex. So, interesting how that works. In theory, I should have hit them all with my Taurens. Then I stun with the Tauren Chieftain. Then the Blademaster attacks. But the Purge Orb kind of deleted my chances of getting the kill there. But now, at this point, yeah, it feels great. This Tauren goes there to kill the peons. Nice little move by me. And now we're fighting Tauren versus Tauren, which is... Oh, look, and my opponent's doing the same thing. So we're just both assaulting each other's economy, but I decided not to. So rip me. At the end of the day, it feels great to have a Blademaster in these situations. Even every disenchant's useless. Because if you disenchant, it's just mana that's not going towards the resurrect. And when you got these beefy sausage units like Taurens just slamming into each other, sometimes you just watch the keyboard and see what happens, and may the reses work themselves out. This is definitely the advantage of the Farseer player, being able to chain lightning Spirit Walkers. Yeah, this is crazy. So much HP. You need, like, Witch Doctors to heal this. Look at that. It's so effective.
A player's forces are under attack.
So effective, my opponent's, like, killing of my expansions. But just the decision to not micro the units afterwards. Oh, that's more free units I'm getting in the level 6 Blademaster. Just too much stats. Wow, it was a big crit. 208. The Potion of Invisibility, hilarious. In theory, you could Blade Storm Invis, right? Oh, why wasn't I aware of that? I really hope I Invisible Blade Storm. I mean, I have it right there. I have level 6. It's not... No, it's not going to happen, guys. It didn't even cross my mind. But this... Khadgar's Pipe working overtime, by the way. If I didn't have Khadgar's Pipe, so many times I'd have to already go back. I see this fight happening. I want to hit Blade Storm so bad. When do I just hit the Blade Storm button? Right now? This has to be it. Blade Storm. Right? No, right here. Oh, nice. Got the healing potion. I think I Blade Storm now when you want to do damage while moving. Perfect. Yeah. Hero kill Blade Storm. Fun. Isn't it so interesting the way Tauren versus Tauren works out? Like, what even is this? How does anyone know who's really winning? I mean, yes, I just lost some Taurens, but I have a Spirit Walker. So what does it all mean? And look at all this experience just going to these high-level orc heroes. Like, You know, the more and more I comprehend the Tauren meta, the more and more I always want to play a Blademaster. Because, like, yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to get high HP heroes. And one of our heroes is doing 228 per auto attack. So, GG's. Love that one. Gotta love a little Blademaster. Yeah, Blademaster, right? Love it. Hey, if you guys like this video, thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next one, right? We got tons of videos, tons more Warcraft 3. And, yeah, see you later.